说，他们很神秘。
我也反对这个方案是按照这样的。
我也不赞同这样的话。
有人说，
有什么意义呢？
他们很偏执。有人说，他们不修边幅。有人说，他们不善言辞。他喜欢面向光的方向，无数次触动了内心的力量。他享受一遍遍的试错，一次次的重来，终于把自己变成了夜猫子。他活得像一个守护者，寻遍了城市的每一个角落。他总是不计时间的流逝，却一直心心念念开花结果的那一刻。他们始终坚信，每一个用沉默书写的执着，也会听见回响；每一个看似遥不可及的信念，也会创造可能；每一个得不到答案的探索，也会迸发出照亮世界的火花。每一个从渺小开始的希望，终将会成为向上生长的时光。那些不被看见的认真，让伟大正在发生。
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Distinguished guests, both online and offline, good morning. Welcome to the keynote of HDC Cloud 2021. I'm today's MC, Wang Lihuan. I'm very glad to be gathered here in the vibrant university town of Shenzhen. HDC is our annual flagship event for global ICT developers, featuring technologies such as Huawei Cloud, Kunpeng, and Ascend. This is a venue to broaden the horizon, providing networking opportunities and acquire skills and certifications. I believe this will be a very rewarding keynote session for all of you. Let's welcome Richard Yu, Huawei Executive Director, CEO of Huawei Cloud and Consumer Business. He will share with us supercharging the intelligent upgrade of business. Big applause to Richard. Ladies and gentlemen, developers, good morning. Welcome to HDC Cloud 2021. I would like to take this opportunity to say thank you to the Shenzhen Municipal Government, Nanshan District Government, and the University Town for providing the great conference venue. I believe the following days in the vibrant and pretty University Town will be a memorable time for all of you. We also have parallel sessions in 40 cities. We have live broadcasting online. Welcome to our annual flagship conference. The year 2020 was an extraordinary and very challenging year for Huawei. We worked against the headwinds. I would like to take this opportunity to thank over 20,000 partners and over 2.4 million developers for your support. because of your support, we have forged ahead against the challenges. Thank you. Our Kunpeng and Ascend solutions have grown by 6 times. Our storage market share in China is #1. In the cloud service market, Huawei Cloud Services has the highest growth rate. Huawei Cloud is now the 2nd in China and then the 5th globally. So we've become one of the top 5 global clouds. This won't be possible without your support, so thank you. Huawei Strategy is to become a robust platform for developers. We want to build the best application enablement and build platform for you. We insist on cloud-first strategy, which means that we will prioritize cloud solutions, cloud service business models, and cloud partners. We'll continue to stay focused on system and architecture innovation and improve our fundamental software so that it will be a more robust platform to support you develop applications for vertical industries. We aim to tilling the soil for the intelligent world, and you make all the difference, or the developers, I mean. I'd like to share with you 2 cases. The first case is based on Huawei Cloud Model Arts. The first affiliated hospital of Xi'an Jiao Tong University has developed a super antibiotic with the help of AI provided by Huawei Cloud. Another example is the eTimes digital technology. They have developed applications for those with hearing impairment so that they can use the apps for daily communication. These are just 2 examples of how Huawei Cloud Services enable developers. A couple of days ago, I met with the startups and their founders. And 2 stood out because they have already applied Huawei Cloud Services. They have applied it to the reviews of medical scans. They have trained the models with Huawei Cloud Services, and the performance of those models have surpassed the medical experts in certain scenarios. These are just testaments to how AI can change the vertical industries. Today, we are moving into the clouds. I remember when I was in university, it was a time when computers were just invented, and enterprises didn't have computers, and then they finally could afford the computers. And now the enterprises are deploying DCs, but the DCs will disappear. I think that this is a history of technology evolution. In the future, enterprise DC will disappear because they will move into the clouds. In the future, we believe that applications will be developed in the clouds. So we think that clouds point to the future of the ICT, and cloud will be the cornerstone for enterprise digital transformation. When I first joined Huawei, we were working on the switches. Over the past 30 years, the communications industry has been developing, and in the future, we think that cloud is an irreversible trend. The major telecom operators will provide the last-mile connection with cloud services, and there will be cloud-native applications across industries. This is indeed an irreversible trend. Everyone has to ride on the trend in order to leverage the opportunities there. We have referred to the GIV report. It says that by 2025, 100% of the enterprises will be using cloud. And by also 2025, 90% of traditional data centers will be closed down. And this is from Gartner reports. So again, cloud is the future of ICT. Next, I would like to share with you a quote. The Economist puts it that without a container, there will be no globalization. And in times of cloud Cloud native is the foundation of real digitization. One important technology in cloud native is a container technology. I think that is the same word with the physical container. Without cloud native container, there would be no real digitization. That is the quote that we have come up with. According to IDC analysis, by 2023, 80% of all apps will be cloud native. We see the emerging applications, including those developed by internet companies, inherently cloud native. But companies like Huawei, our BPIT, was not born cloud native, but now we're moving to adapt with cloud native technologies. The incremental apps have all become cloud native. In Huawei's BPIT, efficiency gains with cloud native business processes in IT at Huawei demonstrated in the slide. By embracing cloud native, developers can work with a much greater efficiency. That's the beauty of cloud native. Both development, build, and deployment have become even 10 times more efficient than the traditional approach. AI is a new driver of productivity in business systems and processes. In my days, back in the 80s, a lot of the work was labor-intensive. And then we have seen automation of workshops and production lines. And today we are going into an era of high efficiency. With the implementation of AI, we will see even higher level of productivity. AI is more advanced than the automation of machines and tools. Now we see AI being implemented in the production systems of enterprises. It will further improve productivity. According to the GIV forecast, 97% of the large enterprises will be using AI by 2025, and 75% of enterprise production processes will be using AI by 2025. AI can be used for quality checks and assurance. In the past, it was all manual, but now we can train the AI models. It can save us lots of manual efforts, and it's able to deliver efficiency much better than humans. That's what we have achieved with the machine learning models. Another example is the review of medical films. The AI models are able to avoid man-made mistakes, and it's able to deliver high efficiency in the reviews of medical films. We are also applying AI in our internal practice. Every year we shipped a lot of sites, and over 50 million installation items will have to be accepted. It used to take a lot of manual visits, but now acceptance is 8 times more efficient, and 6 billion RMB of cost can be saved through AI-assisted engineering acceptance. These are just some of the examples. Now you are looking at the intelligent twins. This is what we launched in Huawei Connect last year. This is a reference architecture for enterprises. We believe that there are 3 major trends. First of all is the modernization of applications, referring to the architecture, O&M, and development of applications being modernized. Second, data as an asset. And data will be major drivers for productivity. And AI industrial development, that is key to enabling vertical industries and improve productivity. In order to help developers seize the opportunities in industrial upgrades, today we are launching 6 innovative technologies. First of all, I would like to launch Huawei Cloud Container Cluster CCE Turbo. It's a container-centric cloud-native infrastructure. is able to increase resource utilization, while at the same time free our engineers from the traditional O&M so that they can focus on innovation. But it's raising high requirements on performance, elasticity, and O&M. Here's CCE Turbo.
Today, we officially launched Huawei Cloud CCE Turbo, featuring faster compute, networks, and scheduling, makes containers a powerful engine for enterprise application innovation. Huawei Cloud CCE Turbo speed up computing. It is the industry's unique container pass-through networking with 100% offload, improving VIP Kit audio-video service performance by 40%, and no lag in online courses. Faster networks. The unique container pass-through networking flattens 2 layers into one. 1,000 containers provisioned within seconds to handle traffic surges, the highest in the industry, helping SINA deal with traffic surge smoothly. Rapid expansion in the very short period of time, over 1,000 containers provisioned. Faster scheduling, achieving awareness of AI, big data, and the web among other different application characteristics, realizing hybrid and intelligent scheduling. For example, Meitu's container cluster resource utilization was improved by 40%. There are a lot of other cases like that. The second innovative technology we launched today is the Huawei Cloud IDE. More than 20 years ago, my first job at Huawei was coding, and I was dreaming about a program that can write its own program. So today it is our great pleasure that a dream has come true. We are officially launching Huawei Cloud IDE, Intelligent Programming Assistant for Developers. Huawei Cloud IDE provides developers with lightweight, fast, anytime, anywhere, and online programming experience. The intelligent code completion technology allows Cloud IDE to find all completion results and improve the accuracy of code. It also supports complex context auto-completion. It can also automatically avoid outdated, deprecated, or unsafe APIs. Huawei Cloud IDE makes your code more robust and secure. The third innovative technology we launched today is the financial level database. To fully embrace cloud, migrating databases is key. Today, we officially launched Huawei Cloud Gauss DB, reliable choice for migrating databases to the cloud. Huawei Cloud Gauss DB for OpenGauss has been upgraded in terms of performance. The transaction processing capability is 54% higher than that of competitors, and the complex query latency is 82% lower. High elasticity in the face of traffic peaks. The scaling can be finished within minutes with no impact on services. The switchover time is only 10 seconds after a single point of failure, which is less than 1/3 of the time of competitors. For example, ICBC has applied Gauss DB to cover Class A to Class D services and stably serves hundreds of millions of users. The fourth innovative technology we launched today is Huawei Cloud Trusted Intelligent Computing Service, TICS. The key to unleash data value is trusted and secure data circulation. However, data is hard to open, hard to share, and hard to circulate. These are the three challenges that need to be solved urgently. Today, we release Huawei Cloud Trusted Intelligent Computing Service, TICS. Trustworthy data flow for maximizing value securely. TICS is based on federated multi-party compute and modeling. Data stays in place, usable but invisible. Synergy of federated AI algorithms and homomorphic encryption algorithms achieves batch model compute, improving training performance by 10 times without an accelerator card. It also supports interconnection with mainstream big data sources without conversion nor adaptation, such as MRS, Spark, among others. No conversion is needed. Today, we also bring you the fifth technological innovation, which is a Huawei Cloud AI large model. We need to say goodbye to the workshop-like AI development. In the future, AI development model must move towards industrialization and generalization. In the past 4 years, based on Huawei's AI strategy, we launched Huawei EI, Enterprise Intelligence, High AI for the consumer service, Ascend chipset, Kirin NPUs, Mindspore AI computing framework, and Atlas 900 cluster, among a series of world-leading products and services of AI. Today, Huawei's full-stack all-scenario AI solution welcomes a very impressive product in the AI industry. Here I announce the official release of Huawei Cloud Pangu large model. This is the top product to be released today. The Pangu large model has strong generalization capability. One model is applicable to a large number of scenarios. With just a small number of samples, high accuracy can be achieved. Pre-training and fine-tuning will allow the industrial AI development model be developed to enter all industries. The Pangu large model is the world's first NLP model that can generate and understand hundreds of billions of Chinese language models. It is also industry's largest computer vision model, or CV model, with 3 billion parameters included. Coming soon, we will continue to launch multimodal and scientific computing models. This large model will become stronger by the day. Let's look at the specifics of the Pangu large model. The NLP model, for example, it ranks first in the Chinese language comprehension assessment in the total ranking, classification ranking, and machine reading ranking, which greatly lead the industry record. We are 1 point ahead of the second place in the overall rankings. Just like the world record in a 100-meter race, every 0.01 second improvement is incredible. And coming soon, this Pangu large model will have an even stronger capability. The sixth innovative technology we launched today is the basic software innovation. Large trees need deep roots. Cloud innovation needs the infrastructure, OS, databases, middleware, among other support of a basic software. If the processor is the heart of the computing industry, the basic software is the soul of the computing industry. Huawei remains unwavered in building OS, database, and AI computing architecture. Based on that, we make continuous investment to enable diversified computing power and support Huawei Cloud products and services innovation. In terms of infrastructure enablement, we have Open Euler and Open Gauss. With 1,000-core affinity scheduling capability. On the application layer, our Boost Kit has a scenario acceleration capability. The MindX has a affinity-based optimization. The Dev Kit features assembly auto translation. My Studio features professional tuning. Huawei makes continuous innovation on basic software to enable diversified computing power. Like developers, innovation has always been in Huawei's DNA. Huawei's history is a history of innovation. We opened up Huawei's 30 years of innovation capabilities, and Huawei Cloud continues to invest and improve, providing developers with a more robust platform. Today, we launched 6 innovative technologies to help developers seize the new opportunity of intelligent upgrades and build a future on Huawei's shoulders. Together, we are smarter and stronger. Every developer is making the world a better place. You make all the difference. Thank you very much. Thank you, Richard Yu, for your excellent presentation. Next, let's invite Bruno Zhang, CTO, Cloud BU Huawei, for a keynote speech, Cloud Native 2.0, all-in-cloud and full-stack intelligence. Hello everyone, welcome to HTC Cloud 2021. You make all the difference. Today I will bring you Huawei Cloud's new products, technologies, and thoughts. My topic is Cloud Native 2.0, all-in-cloud and full-stack intelligence. Last year, Huawei was first to launch Cloud Native 2.0 concept and solutions, which won high recognition from the industry. Cloud Native 2.0 aims at helping enterprises to build full-stack cloud-native intelligent capability and to enable businesses to cope with the transition from on-cloud to in-cloud. At the beginning of this month, during the Huawei Tech Wave Summit, we launched distributed cloud and cloud-native technologies to extend full-stack cloud-native capabilities to every place of enterprise applications, so that all business, service, scenarios, and process of enterprises will be on cloud, and every business will become the new cloud-native business. Distributed cloud and cloud-native features extreme experience, efficient resources, agile application, intelligent service, and secure and trustworthy. First of all, experience. The distributed cloud will extend the full-stack cloud capability to everywhere of the enterprise, meeting different requirements of bandwidth, latency, and requirements. With respect to efficient resources, the enterprise infrastructure will transform from a resource pool to being application-centered, be aware of the application characteristics, and meet the scheduling requirements. Such infrastructure will greatly improve the resource utilization rate. With respect to application agility, through cloud-native technologies and architecture, we help enterprises to realize DevOps-style application mode and modern application architecture upgrade. In terms of intelligent business, we fully release the data value and to integrate AI with industry know-how in depth to realize the implementation of intelligent service. Secure and trustworthy will help enterprises receive secure service, governance, and global compliance capabilities. All the Cloud Native 2.0 products and upgrades will be open to developers. Richard Yu launched lots of innovative technologies, and I will dive into 3 of them. First, CCE Turbo, the container cluster, a revolutionary upgrade in cloud-native infrastructure. Huawei Cloud is building a container-centered cloud-native infrastructure, providing extreme foundation for Cloud Native 2.0. From 2016, we have launched in IEF Intelligent Edge Fabric, the ASM, the Cloud Container Platform, and bare metal servers among a series of container products. Huawei has always been a leader in container technologies. Huawei is also giving back to the container community. We have contributed the Cube Edge, which is the first intelligent edge project to CNCF. And also Volcano, the batch computing project, is the one that Huawei contributed to CNCF community. We have won high recognition from the industry and the market, and we have gained #1 market share of China's container market. We have also got full score for container assessment. CCE Turbo has realized acceleration in compute network and scheduling.
They will accelerate developer innovation in order to satisfy the requirements of high performance, low latency, and efficient utilization of resources. As we try to address cluster resource utilization and server performance, last year, Huawei Cloud Container Cluster launched our unique container offload technology based on the Qingtian architecture. We are applying the same technology to CCE Turbo. We are the first in the industry to achieve container complete offloading so that all cluster resources can be released for service processing. It can help the customers save costs extensively by 30%. We have optimized the container engine in the following areas. We have streamlined the container engine by removing some redundant components and optimized the internal execution logic. We have rewritten core modules to increase parallelization to improve the efficiency in execution. This can improve the container performance by 40%. In terms of network acceleration, how to build a smoother and more secure communication between apps is a major challenge, especially in high concurrency and parallelization. We have the trunk port technology to support direct connect. Containers are connected to the VPCs and two layers are flattened to one. The whole network is completely flattened. The time from network creation to connection is cut by half. In case of massive concurrent services, it can help reduce network latency by 40%. Cloud Native Network 2.0 achieves the industry's first independent security groups and QoS. Compared to container security group sharing cluster nodes in the traditional approach, this solution is more secure. And we are able to manage single container-based security. And the container forwarding becomes more efficient. This technology is able to support developers to scale 1,000 containers in 30 seconds to cope with traffic surge and have smoother communication between apps. As the enterprise move their core services to the cloud, there will be more complex workloads in the clouds. Then scheduling efficiency will be essential and also a key challenge for enterprises. In CCE Turbo, we have upgraded a number of scheduling technologies. For example, hybrid scheduling of online-offline services, massive and intelligent scheduling, as well as service-aware scheduling. All of these technologies have attributed to maximizing cluster scheduling. CCE Turbo is able to flexibly schedule online-offline hybrid services. During the idle times, of the online services, resources can be allocated to offline services. For example, the offline analysis can be done with the resources in the load time of online service. But during the peak times of online services, resources will be released from the offline analysis so that they can help with the online services. I'd like to show you a video of the online-offline scheduling. Then massive scheduling services. We have a scheduler that's able to increase the scheduling throughput. We have tuned the algorithms so that it reduces the addressing depth and width. And the time for addressing can be shortened by 10 times. That is why we're able to complete 10,000 container scheduling every second. We also have the awareness model. It's able to sense if it is a web app or a TensorFlow or a Spark, a driver and executor. And we're able to tell the types of apps so that it's able to understand the resource need as well as the resource level. We have a flexible mechanism to schedule the resources for different types of apps. We're able to sense the topology of the apps and online social. We have seen that Xiaohongshu, your platform, has been growing rapidly in terms of content creation. You have already got over 400 million subscribers, and you are a platform of over 80,000 brands from 200 countries. You have over 8 billion views per day. How do you cope and how do you provide precise recommends? And Xiaohongshu is a loved content community among young people. They are able to share their lives through short videos, infographics, and such. They're able to share what they are experiencing in lives, and audience is able to interact with our influencers. We have over 100 million daily active users, and we have over 8 billion daily views on our platform. To cope with the business development, we are investing heavily in innovation technology in order to provide precise and interesting recommendations for our users. We keep optimizing our tailor-made algorithms. This won't happen without big data and AI innovation. Recently, we're able to update our online massive neural networks every minute so that the neural network is able to support our recommend systems. As an early adopter of a cloud-native technology, we are very firm in implementing cloud-native technologies as the underlying platform for our AI algorithms. What do you think is the biggest benefit from cloud-native technology to your company? First of all, it reduces our system complexity. As I have said that we have applied the massive neural networks. We have to train the models and deploy them from feature extraction to model training to test and deployment. The whole process now becomes more efficient despite of the complexity. Our R&D engineers will have to develop the algorithms for model training. And once we can apply cloud-native technologies, the developed algorithms can be deployed in the production environment seamlessly. We now have seen a great innovation in the cloud-native community. Prometheus monitoring tool is available. We also can tap a Grafana visibility tool. Those have reduced complexity in O&M. In Xiaohongshu platform, we're also embracing data analytics and content analysis. Huawei Cloud serverless technologies been adopted so that we can leverage zero O&M, elasticity, and transferability so that we are able to accommodate the fast-changing service. In addition to that, I think that cloud-native technologies have greatly improved our resource utilization. In Xiaohongshu, we have a very large-scale machine learning training cluster. A lot of AI models are trained with the cluster. In the past, we had to label the nodes manually so that we can allocate the resources. We had to manually sequence and prioritize the workloads, and it was inefficient. And now we try and use Huawei's open source batch scheduling system called Volcano. It's from the Volcano project, and it's got very efficient, advanced algorithms that can support multi-tenant workloads. And this technology can efficiently sequence and prioritize our workloads of different services, and that has added to our much better resource utilization. Xiaohongshu has benefited from a cloud-native technology, but it's also noted that Internet companies are faced with this challenge because they have built some Kubernetes cluster in the early days. How can they align and connect those Kubernetes K8s cluster with the public cloud cluster? What does Xiaohongshu do to deal with this? Yes, we have been researching open source and multi-cloud project and technologies. Recently, we are cooperating with Huawei and other partners to initiate a cloud-native multi-cloud open source project called Kamada. Xiaohongshu has always been actively contributing our share to the cloud-native community. By engaging in open source project innovation, we would like to share our real-world experience and technology to the community so that more companies can benefit from cloud-native tech. Thank you, Mr. Zhang Lei. We look forward to more business and open source cooperation with Xiaohongshu. Mr. Zhang Lei has shared with us the project that is doing with Huawei and other industry partners. In 2019, we launched the world's first container-based multi-cloud management platform called MCP. Over the past few years of evolution, we are now able to support multi-cloud deployment with public clouds and self-built IDC. It's able to support efficient governance of 10,000 service instances. It's fully compatible with Kubernetes native APIs without refactoring. This is a very easy multi-cloud deployment. In the future, we will further share our technologies with the developers. We will also work with customers from financial industry, internet companies, and auto industry. We're working on the multi-cloud orchestration project Kamada. I'm here to announce that Kamada now officially has an open source release. The Kamada project is partnerships between Huawei and enterprise customers, including ICBC, is integrated with industry know-how, and it will be very helpful for developers. By using Kamada, you can scale your container resource pools as easy as you use a single Kubernetes cluster when you use multi-cloud cluster. We want to see the integration of Kamada with CNCF. Today, we're very honored to have the General Manager of CNCF, Madam Priyanka Sharma, and she's going to share with us her take on Kamada.
Hello, everyone. I'm Priyanka Sharma, and I'm the General Manager of the Cloud Native Computing Foundation, or CNCF. I I am so excited to be here speaking with you today. I hope you're having a great time at the Huawei Developer Conference. The Chinese community and the Huawei ecosystem are key partners in our quest to cloud native, so I'm extra happy to be here today. It is my opinion that multi-cloud is the way of the future, and multi-cluster application management will be a key step forward. For that reason, it was very exciting to see the Karmada project talked about just before me. What was also very exciting is to hear that Huawei plans to donate the project to CNCF. We have seen amazing technologies come out of the Chinese ecosystem, and we are so proud of the trust that you place in us. Thank you for that. So everybody, I hope you have a great time at the Huawei Developer Conference. Thank you, Huawei, for having me here, and I hope you all enjoy the show. Bye!
Thank you very much, Priyanka, for your recognition on Karmada. We also wish Karmada enter CNCF as soon as possible so that we can work with global developers to build industry standards for multi-cloud, cloud-native industry. We know that database is the cornerstone for enterprise core transactions and the data process. The core transactions and the data of enterprises should migrate to cloud securely. However, this requires enterprise-level cloud-native database so that customers will feel rest assured. This poses new requirements on cloud-native databases, such as high performance, elastic scaling, and high availability, to make sure that core services, especially transactions, are online stably. And the core data must be secure and trustworthy throughout the full link. Data O&M capabilities are also a high requirement. We will bring AI to make database management more simple and intelligent. Therefore, after migrating core services to cloud, we summarize the 5 core characteristics of cloud-native databases: core service processing, elastic scaling, stable online services, encrypted data processing, and intelligent management. Gauss DB meets the high performance, availability, and reliability product. It is our flagship product just launched by Richard Yu. This database is based on cloud, native, and AI technologies. Huawei has made strategic investment in Gauss DB for over 10 years. Every year, we inject new technologies into Gauss DB. We have covered both relational and non-relational services covered by OpenGauss. The OpenGauss released today is aiming at the core service and meets financial sector requirements. It first of all can handle massive concurrent transactions and a complex query. Through hybrid cloud and cloud-native technologies, we outperform competitors by a large amount and can expand to over 1,000 nodes elastically through joint innovation with customers, in particular financial sector. We have verified the high availability of financial sector scenarios. We also launched the world's first always encrypted technology to make sure that data is fully secured during the entire link. We also embed AI into database kernel to make the database management intelligent and efficient. This is a revolutionary database that is AI native and cloud native. Let's first talk about high performance and elasticity. In transaction handling, through NUMA-aware technology, we have greatly reduced the cross-kernel CPU access latency in a single node. The GTM Lite technology also allows us to improve the multi-node performance. In a case with a big financial institution, the Gauss DB performance is much higher than others. In terms of complex query performance, cloud-native technology is adopted to realize full parallelism. Parallelism is realized on various layers, such as MPP node parallelism will distribute the execution actions to all the nodes. Through SMP operator level parallelism, we realize the computing of parallelism across different CPUs. We also have instruction parallelism, so that one instruction can operate multiple data, which greatly reduces the query latency. In the financial service TPC-H test, we outperform our competitors by a large amount. Gauss DB can also be expanded elastically to over 1,000 large-scale cluster, which can handle the traffic surge of financial services smoothly. High availability is key to enterprises. Gauss DB provides multiple high availability solutions, including inter-AZ, and cross-region DR. We realize 3 data centers in 2 cities to meet the financial regulatory requirements. Gauss DB has a unique switch turbo technology to ensure the fast switchover among AZs in the same cities. The RTO is smaller than 10 seconds, which is far higher than the industry average in terms of security and privacy. We covered both the 2C, consumer individual privacy, and the 2B, core data privacy. Gauss DB has this industry's first full-link encryption for data transmission, compute, and storage. This not only encrypts the data transmission and the storage, but also realize encryption for data compute in the storage. This way, the data will be protected throughout its full life cycle. In 2019, Huawei released the Gauss DB AI native technology. Over the past years, we kept embedding AI into database to realize auto-optimization and the tuning of database. For example, in terms of parameter self-tuning, through deep learning and global optimization algorithm, we can tune for different workloads. We covered over 500 parameters. Compared with the traditional DBA manual tuning, the performance is 30% better, and second, the tuning time is reduced from days of manual tuning to minutes. Next, in terms of intelligent index recommendation, through heuristic algorithm, we realized statement and workload index recommendation, so that the recommendation time is reduced from hours to seconds. We also have slow SQL diagnosis, workload forecast, and fault detection, among many other functions are realized by AI, and the efficiency has been dramatically improved. In the past 2 years, Huawei Cloud Gauss DB has developed over 100,000 developers from 70 universities and 200 ISVs. We'll keep injecting the most advanced technology into Gauss DB. Next, I want to talk about TICS, which was released by Richard Yu just now. In today's society, privacy data is asset. Everyone wants to make good use of data. People want to have good protection of privacy on the one hand, and on the other hand, we want to maximize value from data circulation. For example, when you apply for loan from banks, in the past, different institutions were involved, such as tax authority, housing, automobile authorities, among other government agencies. Data will need to be applied from a lot of government agencies before they aggregate to banks. Thanks to TICS, banks, with the approval of the Government Data Bureau, can query data from the government agencies or the data owners. These agencies will be able to do computing in their own trusted zone and give the bank the query results. After aggregating the query results to bank's own trusted zone, bank will be able to issue loan very quickly and efficiently. The Huawei Cloud TIX is a trusted intelligent computing service for this scenario. It is the first cloud service that passed the CAICT Privacy Computing Assessment. The TIX can help customers to build trusted and efficient environment. In the public trusted zone, the TEE and the MPC will help to build multiple trusted computing units which can be deployed in a containerized manner through Intel SGX and Quantum Trust Zone. The plaintext and the ciphertext communication will be realized with a much higher performance. In the data provider trusted zone, we have a TIX agency to do the privacy data computing. There are also other new technologies that realize better privacy protection. For example, federated data analysis and training, multi-party computing, homomorphic encryption, and the differential privacy that realize horizontal and vertical data protection respectively. We also have a pluggable method to interface with the blockchain storage so that the data circulation is traceable and auditable. Customers can also customize their privacy policies. This will meet the customer's privacy requirements to the largest extent. Data source is everywhere. They can be in any geography, organization, or industry. Huawei TIX support data sources from different geographies, organizations, and industries. Converged analysis and a multi-party federated learning and modeling will be realized. This is thanks to the fact that we are based on cloud-native distributed architecture, so that participants from the same region, cross-region, dedicated region, or edge regions. The Huawei TIX will also cope with complex data source platforms. As Richard said, we interface with MapReduce, relational databases, among many other mainstream data sources. We also support mainstream learning frameworks such as Huawei MindSport and TensorFlow and PyTorch of the industry. Such collaborated, federated training and homomorphic encryption will increase the efficiency of federated training by 5 to 10 times. Huawei Cloud remains dedicated to technological innovation and realize inclusive technologies. We will support developers from cloud infrastructure, AI enablement, data enablement, application enablement, video, audio, among many other areas to provide developers with even better tools and platforms. Please stay tuned. Huawei Cloud is also ready to work with global developers and become the preferred partners for intelligent upgrade of enterprises. Let's work together to realize full cloud and full stack intelligence for enterprises. Let's make cloud ubiquitous and intelligence pervasive. Thank you very much. Thank you, Bruno. Thank you, Mr. Zhang Lei, for your wonderful sharing. Next, I want to invite Dr. Tian Qi, Chief Scientist in AI, Cloud BU, Huawei IEEE Fellow, for his keynote speech, New Model of AI Industrial Development. Distinguished guests, friends on-site and online, good morning. I'm Tian Qi from Huawei Cloud. My topic today is New Model of AI Industrial Development. It is well known that modern industrialization exerted a great influence on human society. Machines, such as steam engines and robots, played a pivotal role, greatly improving production efficiency and living standards.
Artificial intelligence have seen ups and downs in the past 50 to 60 years and delivered quite a few successes in many domains, but there are still challenges. One of them is the AI development model. A lot of times, AI development model still follows the workshop-like approach. First of all, AI application relies on customized models, including data processing, model selection, model training, fine-tuning, and optimization. The model development involves a lot of efforts and time, and a small model can hardly deliver the high performance desired. And when it fails in performance, we have to start over, and customized small models might not work in a different scenario. It needs a new development. Then can we replace the traditional AI development model with an alternative? This new desirable new model should be a generalized AI model, where at the same time it's able to deliver high precision and performance. Richard launched the Huawei Cloud Pangu large models. It can be applied to vertical industries. It's able to extract knowledge from a massive data, find out commonality, and then it can be used for training Pangu large models to acquire massive knowledge. This model needs to be fed with massive data sets. That's why it is an extraordinarily large model. An ordinary NLP may involve hundreds of millions of parameters, while our large models may involve hundreds of billions of parameters. Over the past few months, we have been working very hard on Huawei Cloud Pangu large models. The model development can be divided into two phases. First, a pre-training model. Second, fine-tuning and model deployment. In the first phase of pre-training, most of the training workload has been done, and thus being the most time-consuming phase. The second phase is leveraging Pangu pipeline for fine-tuning and model deployment. A pre-trained large model can work in many different scenarios. Generalization and replicability are the major breakthroughs that we have achieved to the AI development model. Compared to the old approach of workshop model, the new model can be 10 to 100 times more efficient, while at the same time, the large model is able to deliver much higher performance. Now, let me talk more about the Huawei Cloud Pangu large models, including NLP, CV, multi-modality, and scientific computation models. I will elaborate on Pangu NLP and CV large models. Pangu large models are defined with three basic principles. First of all, a super large neural network involving hundreds of billions of parameters, robust network architecture. The actual large model performs 10 times or even 10 times or even better than the tailor-made models. It's delivering impressive robustness because it's able to cover 10 times more scenarios. Now, I would like to tell you about a partnership between Huawei Recurrent AI and Pengcheng Lab. It is Pangu NLP large model, and it is the first Chinese large model involving hundreds of billions of parameters. Artificial intelligence is now being integrated in the verticals. It aims to learn industry know-how and provide cost-effective generalized solutions. It aims to leverage few-shot learning to enable business scenarios. For example, if service robots, the chat robots, are able to understand multi-turn contextual dialogues and multi-layer semantics, it will offer better services. To achieve the goal, Pangu NLP large model has been trained with a 40 TB text in the pre-training phase. After tuning, it's able to perform better in multiple scenarios. Architecture-wise, the previous pre-trained models were primarily based on decoder structure. For example, the GPT-3 model of OpenAI and CPM model developed by BAAI. That's why they are mostly for performing generative tasks. However, our model is based on deep encoder and shallow decoder structures, because we want to deliver good performance in both generative and semantic understanding, while at the same time accelerate the progress in generative models and tasks. Next, let me talk about the three major progress in large models. First of all, in pre-training phase, the model has learned massive general knowledge and been able to perform generative and semantic understanding tasks. It's also trained with industry know-how and data. The large models can flexibly adapt to different scenarios. In the case of financial services, the large models can support sales staff to increase conversion rate by 200%. Secondly, based on encoder-decoder structures, the models integrated with our training methods and techniques to generate better performance. In the clue test, Pangu models ranks #1 in classification, reading comprehension, and total score. Clue primarily evaluates the model's reading comprehension. NLPCC 2018 test is able to evaluate the comprehensive ability of reading accuracy. Our models achieved an average 0.53 score in the huge score, 60% and the second player. The previous pre-trained models were not tuned or just tuned with non-gradient algorithms. In order to bridge the gap, we decided to use few-shot learning for large models with tuning, including prompt-based tuning, dynamic tuning, and similar regularization techniques, so that it's able to produce models that can outperform the GPT models. Next, let me show you the Pangu NLP large model. Next, I will have several turns of conversations with Pangu NLP large models. Let me start. Hi, Pangu. Could you introduce yourself? Pangu is the industry's first Chinese pre-training large model involving hundreds of billions of parameters. Compared to other models, Pangu is performing better in comprehension and generative tasks. Let me ask you two questions. Hi, Pangu. What is the Chinese idiom for no pains, no gains? God rewards the diligent. Faith moves mountains. Where there is a will, there is a way. Very knowledgeable. Learning 40 TB of data pays off. Let me ask you another question. Hi, Pangu. What kind of vehicles can run without oil? Vehicles using alternative energy and bikes can run without oil, and toy cars as well. The answer shows that Pangu is capable of common sense inference. The conversations demonstrate that Pangu is an end-to-end generative model. In the real world, it may find it difficult to address problems that rely on domain knowledge and database or precise understanding of semantics. Let me show you how the large model can overcome these challenges by bridging the gap of end-to-end generative models. Carbon neutrality has become a buzzword lately. I want to know more about it. Hi, Pangu. What is carbon neutrality? Which industries are major carbon emitters? Carbon neutrality refers to achieving net zero carbon dioxide emissions by balancing man-made carbon emissions with planting trees, energy conservation, etc. The major carbon contributors include power generation and heating, manufacturing, construction sectors. Please see the chart below. The conversation reveals that Pangu model has read and comprehended many relevant articles. After few-shot learning, it recognizes the intent and translates it to queries for the database and receives returned information and generates the answer. This is different from the GPT-3 generation models. It responds to complexity and relates to domain knowledge in a better way. Its greater commercial potential, it can be used for improving search results and recommendation systems. Hi, Pangu. Why is carbon neutrality needed? What is the goal and what are the challenges? Excessive carbon emissions lead to global warming. It is responsible for natural disasters such as melting glaciers and forest fires. At COP15 in Paris, an agreement was reached to achieve global carbon neutrality in the second half of the century. The objectives of each country are set out in the table below. The main challenges are as follows. First, energy demand has not yet peaked and per capita electricity consumption is still rising. Second, coal is the main source of electricity supply and coal combustion produces large numbers of carbon dioxide. Changing is difficult. Third, green energy technology remains immature. Good job. I expressed three intents in my question, is able to identify all of them and answer them one by one. This is Pangu's ability of comprehending multiple intents, and that has overcome the major challenge for chatting robots. Hi, Pangu. What can we do in daily lives to help? Low carbon lifestyle is recommended as follows. Did you notice that in my question, I didn't mention carbon neutrality, but Pangu was able to understand the question was about reducing CO2 emission instead of other topics based on the context. So in a longer conversation, semantic understanding is important because it helps more natural conversation between humans and robots. Hi, Pangu. How can AI technologies contribute to carbon neutrality? Then specifically, how can we deliver carbon neutrality? AI enables data analytics and industrial transformation. It can contribute to carbon monitoring and predict carbon emissions. It can further improve enterprise proficiency and save energy and costs. First of all, it should identify an annual goals for carbon reduction. Second, reforms should be promoted in the power industry to promote green energy. Third, enterprises should start carbon auditing and achieve their power-saving goals. Pangu has expressed its own opinions of carbon neutrality. That is a testament to its leading ability of performing generative and semantic understanding tasks. If given an opportunity, Pangu is able to form its own opinions. Thank you, Pangu, for the answers. Don't mention it. And this is the debut of our Pangu NLP large models. A big applause to his fantastic performance. What I just showed you is the performance of our Pangu NLP large models and the breakthroughs in generative tasks and semantic understanding. We hope that it can be widely adopted in our lives and work. Next, let me show you Pangu CV large model. It is the industry's biggest CV model involving over 3 billion parameters, and it's been pre-trained with 1 billion images.
For the first time, Pangu CV model takes into account the discriminative and the generative ability of image, so it can meet the needs of image restoration and the semantic understanding at the same time. The Pangu CV model can easily integrate industry know-how and quickly adapt to downstream tasks. Currently, the Pangu CV model has been verified in more than 100 practical tasks. which not only greatly improves the service test accuracy, but also saves more than 90% R&D costs on average. In particular, the Pangu CV large-scale model performs well on some difficult problems. Hybrid data augmentation based on MPE and a comparative learning method of hierarchical semantic aggregation, Pangu is able to efficiently structure model relationships of large-scale data sets. As a result, it ranks first in the world in the classification accuracy of a few samples on datasets such as ImageNet. The Pangu CV model is dedicated to solving the problem that AI engineering is difficult to generalize and replicate. The existing AI projects will need to customize for different scenarios, which is time-consuming and labor-intensive. The Pangu CV model makes AI development enters the industrial mode. That is, a pipeline can be replicated to different scenarios, greatly saving R&D manpower and computing power. The Pangu CV large model provides the functions of large model pre-training, large model deployment, and large model iteration. The three functions are an organic whole and form a complete closed loop of AI development, which is convenient for developers to use. In the pre-training stage of Pangu CV large model, the key problem to be solved is how to transform the super-scale model, especially the knowledge contained in industry data, in the large model. The core problem of training is to integrate unlabeled and labeled images and capture the implicit structuring in them, especially information about the relationship between samples. To solve this problem, we design 3 steps: data processing, architecture design, and model optimization. Designed hierarchical spatial feature aggregation, supervised contrast semantic adjustment, and finally improve image representation efficiency by thousands of times. Relying on the supercomputing power, these advanced algorithms are finally integrated into the Pangu CV large-scale model, which contains 1 billion image knowledge and has more than 3 billion parameters. When trained, you can efficiently adapt to various downstream tasks. In the development phase, or rather deployment phase of the Pangu CV large model, we expect to cover various devices with different computing capabilities, including cloud device for high-definition remote sensing, image analysis, edge device for power line patrol, and terminal railway fault detection, etc. Considering that the large model with 3 billion parameters may not meet the requirements of these scenarios, we design model extraction and knowledge distillation algorithms, which can extract efficient submodels according to user requirements and ensure that the knowledge learned from the large model can be transferred to the submodels to the maximum extent. In practice, the Pangu CV large model can be optimized for the target hardware, and the difference between the maximum and the minimum models is more than 1,000 times, which meets the needs of most developers. Coming soon, our vision is lifelong learning and providing developers with stable and long-term services so that one model can maximize its value over a longer period of time. To this end, we have equipped Pangu model with data mining, incremental training, and model evolution. 1-bit supervision, two-way self-learning can reduce human intervention by more than 90%. At the same time, class incremental learning and a difficult case incremental learning can reduce computing power consumption by more than 90% in the incremental learning process. Combined with the graph-based model mixing technology, the Pangu CV large model finally realizes closed-loop iteration, which makes the generalization ability of the model gradually enhanced. Next, we will show an application case of the Pangu CV large model. Please welcome Mr. Zhou Jie from State Grid Chongqing Yongchuan Electric Power Company. Welcome, Mr. Zhou. The floor is yours. Hello, distinguished guests and experts. I am Zhou Jie from State Grid Chongqing Yongchuan Electric Power Company. I am pleased to share with you the application case of Pangu large model in intelligent inspection of power grids. We are an early power grid in China that used UAVs for intelligent inspection. Currently, UAVs are widely used for O&M and management of grid. The inspection efficiency and quality are significantly improved. Next, I will show you a short video about our work. The State Grid Chongqing Yongchuan Electric Power Company is located in the western part of Chongqing. The company is responsible for the O&M of 45 substations, over 1,600 km of transmission lines, and over 5,000 km of distribution lines. Traditional manual inspection of these power lines is labor-intensive, and the work environment is harsh. Yongchuan Electric Power Company actively explore the use of new technologies in their daily work. Our brilliant example is intelligent power line inspection using UAVs. Today, automatic inspection of the power grid, removal of foreign objects with the power still on, and the 3D digital power grid are widely used, covering power transmission, transformation, and distribution facilities. We did encounter many challenges in developing intelligent inspection solutions. Massive amounts of data collected by UAVs need to be manually labeled. Dozens of AI models need to be developed to cover 100+ power grid defects. Without enough samples, it's difficult to develop high-precision AI models. To rise to these challenges, we switched to large models trained with massive industry knowledge. This hugely reduced manual labeling, and a single model can adapt to all defects. Huawei Cloud Pangu large models have revolutionized AI development, helping to usher in intelligent inspection 2.0 for power grids. From this video, we can see that UAV intelligent inspection have helped us to solve the data collection challenge. However, massive data analysis and value extraction is another challenge. From 2020 to 2021, we worked closely with Huawei Cloud to conduct research and exploration on intelligent identification of grid defects. From the preliminary work, we faced two major challenges. One is the massive data labeling. The other is the large variety of grid defects, which require adaptation of multiple models and iteration and development. We can see that drones collect massive amounts of data every day, and defect samples are critical to improving the recognition capability. Currently, we have accumulated million level of data. However, the proportion of defects is less than 1% in most scenarios. As a result, the cost of screening and labeling defects is high. To address these challenges, we use the large model solution to pre-train and filter massive unlabeled data. After comparison of large and small models, large model screening increases the efficiency by 30 times. The screening quality is up by 5 times. For example, Yongchuan collects 50,000 images every day. Manual labeling can be saved by 175 person days. Another challenge is that there are hundreds of types of grid defects. We have developed more than 20 AI small models. They took a long time to develop. They were costly. In addition, grid defects are long-tailed and have obvious regional differences. Some models could not be optimal. We want to solve this problem with a large model by leveraging the generalization capability. Through joint efforts with Huawei, we have developed a large model. Now we will show you how one large model and more than 20 small models examine 50,000 power grid pictures. On the left side of the screen, we see the statistics of defects of more than 20 small models. On the right side of the screen, we see the defects of the large model statistics. And we have statistics about the number of defects and the precision of recognition. Now we have the results. More than 2,100 defects were found by more than 20 small models with an average recognition accuracy of 65.1%. The large model has found more than 2,700 defects and the recognition accuracy is 83.5%. The large model not only has good generality, but also the accuracy of the large model is better than that of the small models. Currently, large model can realize what 20 small models can do, improving the average precision by 18.4% and reducing the model development and iteration cost dramatically. The Pangu large model has shown obvious advantages in the grid scenario. It can quickly iterate at low cost, quickly adapt to different scenarios, and truly achieve large-scale and replicable deployment. We believe that the new model developed by the AI industry will accelerate the AI application of the power industry. That's all for my sharing. Thank you all. Now I will give the floor back to Mr. Tian. Thank you again, Mr. Zhou Jie. Thank you again. Next, let's take a look at other examples of CV large models. In railway fault detection applications, AI implementation faced the following challenges. Various types of faults, fault samples has great data imbalance, among others. Using Pangu large model to pre-train a large amount of unlabeled data, the generalization capability of the model can be improved through data augmentation, the data mining, and other mechanisms can improve the performance of identifying scarce sample faults. In this project, the recall rate of fault samples is 5.4% higher than the benchmark, and the fault report rate is reduced by 24.7%. In the case of pneumoconiosis detection, the implementation of AI faces the following challenges. The symptoms were not significant. Challenge of large amount of pictures to be checked. The Pangu large model is used to mine unlabeled data and build a diagnosis model, which is suitable for most medical image diagnosis scenarios, and the algorithms is highly replicable. In this project, we improve the accuracy of case recognition by 22%. Finally, let me talk to you about how the Pangu large model was developed. The Pangu NLP large model has hundreds of billions of parameters, and 40 terabytes of training data is involved. Training Pangu large model faces three main challenges. First, computing power. With single card, it takes hundreds of years for training. Second, parallel optimization. All computing power is optimized by software for model training. Third, massive data. Massive data cleansing before training and quick access to data during training to avoid slowing down the training. Those are the top challenges. Huawei Cloud Model Arts provide powerful EB-class computing scheduling and full-stack collaborative optimization capabilities to fully release computing power. The powerful data throughput and efficient data processing capabilities provide support for Pangu large model training. Pengcheng Cloud Brain second has powerful AI computing and data throughput capabilities. Pengcheng Cloud Brain second is the largest AI training cluster in China with 4,096 Ascent 910 processors and 2,048 Kunpeng 920 CPUs. 1 EFLOPS AI computing power, ranking number 1 in AI Perf 500. The storage capacity of Pengcheng Cloud Brain 2 reaches up to 64 terabytes, and the I/O access latency is low as 2 milliseconds. The I/O 500 throughput performance test shows that it is the first time that a system in China takes the top position in the ranking, achieving a breakthrough in history.
Pengcheng Cloud Brain 2 is really strong in AI computing and data throughput, laying a solid foundation for training large models. Hardware is the basis for computing when training large models, but it also needs good synergy with basic software and software tuning in order to tap the full potential. Firstly, we have a CAN-based analysis of operators and operator optimization technology so that the performance for a single operator is improved by 30%. Second, parallel strategy for large models is indeed a great challenge. A manual approach is very time-consuming, but with Huawei MindSport, pipeline parallelization, model parallelization, and data parallelization, it reduces the heavy workloads of manual coding and improves the linearity by 20% in precision. Thirdly, Huawei Cloud Model Arts supports EFLOPS computing resource scheduling and affinity algorithm scheduling. Algorithm, datasets, and computing capacity are the three major factors affecting large models. Pangu large models have been trained with massive datasets. Within 7 days, with the help of Model Arts services, it's successfully processed 40 dB of raw data. Model Arts service can provide automatic data cleansing, data enhancement, and data evaluation services to improve efficiency. Model Arts can also identify degraded and polluted samples and denoise samples to enhance the data. Model Arts also provides a smart label, such as proactive learning and pre-label, as well as screening difficult targets and objects so that the models can become more precise. Huawei Cloud offers a series of Pangu large models, including NLP, CV, multi-model, and scientific computing large models, supported by over 100 algorithms. All of these will be offered to you through Huawei Cloud Model Arts. They will be available to the customers and developers. Last but not the least, Huawei Cloud Pangu large models will change the workshop-like customization model. It will provide generalization and replicability of AI development models so that AI development will become more efficient. It will usher in new model of AI industrial development. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Tian Qi and Mr. Zhou Jie. Next on is Mr. Xiong Yan, the President of R&D Management Department of the computing product line Huawei. He will share with us powering diversified computing through basic software innovation. Distinguished guests, developers, good morning. I'm very glad to share with you Huawei's thoughts and the progress in basic software in times of diversified computing. Kunpeng and the sand-based computing industry has been thriving so far. 12 integrated solution partners have already launched the Kunpeng-based servers and PCs. Over 10 hardware partners have already launched the Ascend-based AI servers. Kunpeng and Ascend have gained recognition in the industry. They have become drivers for the progress in the computing community. As Richard has pointed out, processors is the heart of the computing industry, while basic software is the soul of the computing industry. Huawei continue to invest in computing basic software to enhance hardware enablement, software enablement, application enablement, and development enablement. That is a full stack of a basic software stack. Today, I would like to highlight 6 key components, including open source, open Euler, open source enterprise-grade database, open Gauss, Kunpeng application enablement suite, Boost Kit, AI computing framework, MindSpore, Kunpeng and Ascend pipeline, Toolkit, DevKit, and MindStudio. First, let me update you the progress with Open Euler. Since we launched the first LTS version, and we have seen mainstream Chinese vendors have published the commercial releases with the open source Open Euler, altogether over 10,000 units. Open Euler 21.03 is launched according to the schedule. It's based on Linux kernel 5.10, and Huawei's got a top contribution to this kernel version. It's able to offer 1,000 core scheduling, PB level memory, hierarchical management, and kernel hot swap. It's offering encrypted computing framework. In addition to supporting Kunpeng Ascend x86 servers, it's able to support 5TM Zhaoxing Shenwei RISC-V and such processors, becoming a real diversified computing innovative platform. As we see exponential growth of CPU cores, OS kernel is now presented with considerable challenges. When it is over 40 core CPU, there might be a disruption of services. Open Euler 2103 version has optimized the lock-free kernel and increased resource asset parallelization. According to feedback scheduling mechanism, is able to sense the service status. NUMA scheduling is able to allocate services to the best performing cores to improve performance by 10%. Is able to support group-related scheduling and reduce invalid kernel swaps and scheduling. The memory management capability is also key to computing performance. In the 2103 version, we have a hierarchical memory management feature. Based on the process-based policy control, is able to scale memory capacity, and the automatic scheduling won't impact the service. In the MySQL application test, with other things constant, performance up by 40%. In the next step, Open Euler will further support resource pool scalability across 100 nodes and to elevate the memory management to PB level. As we see that there are more lines of code, there are also new bugs to be fixed and more vulnerabilities to be fixed. And code patching is impacting the business. Open Euler 2103 offers a hard upgrade solution. It's leveraging the parallel efficient loading technology, and it's able to provide the reboot-free for processes, threads, and peripheral devices, so that you can have non-interrupted service in the hot upgrade. We have a video to share with you. Modern OS upgrades in modern data centers are performed in a rolling replacement mode. It takes more than 30 days to complete an OS upgrade. The live kernel upgrade solution, first released by Open Euler, can quickly freeze the service process status and quickly switch to the new kernel that has been patched. Services in the new kernel can be quickly started. Take MySQL as an example. The whole life upgrade process takes seconds and does not affect services. In this way, the system kernel can be upgraded in batches, simplifying batch and rolling upgrade control. The open Euler live kernel upgrade does not interrupt services. The OS upgrade efficiency is improved by 100 times. In addition to the kernel innovations, this version also presents security enhancements. Different architecture-based processes are equipped with different encryption and computational mechanisms to better empower developers. We offer SecGear, encrypted computing framework, offering a diverse range of APIs and security middlewares so that you can enjoy normalized coding experience. In this release, we have offered our in-house secure microkernel. It's been through the formal verification. So mathematically speaking, the microservice kernel has passed CC05+, the top level of OS kernel security. Next, OpenGAUS. Since June last year, we've released an open source version of open source, and over 40% of the database kernel developers in China have joined OpenGAUS community. 6 DB partners have released commercial versions based on OpenGAUS and applied in financial and power industries. Now we've launched OpenGAUS 2.0. This will be updated continuously in the community, and we're upgrading the enterprise-grade performance, security, and such. The new version is able to deliver 1.5 million TPMC, very high performance. We keep optimizing the architecture and engineering design. We have analyzed the SQL flows of 400,000 pieces in the specific transactions. We optimized the storage engine interface for short-term transactions and optimized bypass SQL. We have carried out dynamic pruning and such to improve search efficiency by 20%. And by log-free optimization algorithm, the user thread is further parallelized and throughput is improved by 50%. In this version, if deployed on 4 sockets Kunpeng servers, performance can reach 2.3 million TPMC, and making deploying high-performance database in a single unit of general-purpose servers. In addition to that, we have upgraded the encryption technology. It's end-to-end data protection by applying client semantic passing mechanism. We want to make sure that the encryption engine makes sure that the processing and query performance overheads won't exceed 5%. It also leverages heuristic algorithm and assumption-based index verification is able to address over 90% of the index and configuration-related problems, reaching the same level as a human optimization. Since we launched a Kunpeng application enabling suite BoostKit last year, we further synergize hardware, software, and optimize key algorithms and made service performance up by 20%. For example, single server is able to support 1080p 60-channel cloud services for smartphones. The intensities doubling that of the industry. In distributed storage, I/O latencies drop by 90%. IOPS reach 5.2 W, higher than the industry average by 30%. Then let me give you some examples about BoostKit. When dealing with different requirements of data analytics, big data is met with different challenges. BoostKit's been optimized, first of all, by leveraging the acceleration engine enabled by Kunpeng and compression technology. Data compression times are shortened by 80%.
To address short storage performance bottlenecks, we developed intelligent I/O prefetching algorithms based on typical data access models to achieve 90% cache hit ratio and improve Spark edge-based performance by 20%. To solve the problem of long running time of complex algorithms, algorithm optimization technologies such as distributed optimization and subgraph segmentation are used to improve the performance of machine learning algorithms and graph algorithms by more than 5 times. Intelligent network offload and multi-core parallel optimization improve computing efficiency by more than 40%. Our partner, Nanjing Diamondsoft, uses BoostKit to efficiently identify key information. The algorithm calculation time is reduced from 1,820 seconds to 133 seconds, improving performance by 13 times. In the Ascent field, AI computing framework MindSpore has been open source for 1 year. It has developed 190,000 developers and has been widely used in more than 10 industries, including finance, electric power, and education. The AI capabilities of Huawei phones, such as smart vision and screen recognition, are implemented based on MindSpore. MindSpore is invoked more than 300 million times every day. The MindSpore 1.2 has been officially launched. It supports ultra-large-scale clustering and large-scale model training with hundreds of billions of parameters. It also brings 3 innovations: fully automatic parallelism, scenario AI, and interpretable recommendation model. Let's start with fully automatic parallelism. Efficient training of large models with hundreds of millions of parameters based on static graphs is a challenge. Developers need to consider multiple factors such as model structure and cluster resource configuration to design a good parallel algorithm. In addition, they need to write a large amount of segmentation and communication code. MindSpore's fully automatic hybrid parallelism integrates 3 parallel technologies. Single machine algorithm code added with a few parallel tags will implement automatic segmentation of the training process, and the static graph training performance will be improved by 40%. In terms of dynamic graph optimization, MindSpore's functional differential equations enables us to obtain the whole graph information and optimize the performance in the reverse differential phase, and combine or reduce operations in the network using the multi-stream parallel mechanism to automatically merge communication operators. Take ResNet as an example. The training performance of MindSpore is 60% higher than industry benchmark. Let's look at all scenario AI capabilities of MindSpore 1.2. On a cloud, MindSpore uses adaptive model segmentation and inner service distributed parallel scheduling technologies to support inference deployment of super large models on multiple cards. In addition, distributed parallelism improves inference performance by 30% compared with TF serving. Second, at the edge, MindSpore uses adaptive model compression and heterogeneous parallel processing to make full use of computing power. Taking the CV model as an example, the accuracy loss is less than 1% when a model is reduced by 2/3 and the inference time is reduced by 50%. On the device side, MindSpore uses models as code to achieve minimal memory usage. In addition, operator rearrangement reduces the inference latency, solving the problem of high-performance AI deployment on IoT devices. With this technology, Huawei Watch shortens the latency of lift by 10 times, and the model memory is less than 1 KB, improving user experience. MindSpore 1.2 also has the industry's first semantic-level interpretable recommendation model, TBNet. Based on the original bidirectional interpretable recommendation model, MindSpore 1.2 accurately identifies core features and key paths that affect user behavior from massive relationship path in a knowledge graph, and provides personalized recommendations and semantic-level interpretation. TBNet is a model that can achieve both high recommendation accuracy and semantic interpretability. We verify the recommendation accuracy on public datasets such as movies and games, and the recommendation accuracy is comparable to Wide and Deep and RippleNet. In addition, TBNet can provide semantic interpretive statements of traditional black box models by means of model distillation. We plan to open source TBNet in June this year. You can download it from MindSpore Model Zoo. Developers are welcome to try it. Finally, I'd like to introduce the latest development of Kunpeng and Ascent development kits. On Kunpeng, more than 50,000 developers and 300 partners have successfully ported, developed, and optimized applications based on DevKit. To enable developers to use the Kunpeng development environment anytime and anywhere, the latest DevKit 2.3 adds the remote debugging function. With a Kunpeng Cloud environment provided by Huawei, developers can complete development, compilation, and debugging locally in one-stop mode. During application development and deployment, it takes a lot of time for developers to locate system performance exceptions. DevKit 2.3 provides a comprehensive diagnosis and debugging tool. The accuracy of locating system performance exceptions reaches 90%, and the troubleshooting time is shortened by 80%. To better support application porting, DevKit 2.3 provides the capability of translating x86 assembly code to Kunpeng in one-click mode. Based on DevKit 2.3, the porting efficiency of each application is further improved from 6 person days to 2 person days. For example, the Shanghai Stock Exchange completed the porting of 1 million lines of code in the market trading system within 2 days, effectively supporting the rapid rollout of services. The newly released Ascent MindStudio 3.0 adds a code and a model building tool and training visualization expert tuning system to help developers efficiently develop in the Ascent environment. MindStudio porting tools can port models and scripts from different frameworks and hardware to Ascent in one-click mode. The model porting tool also supports operator scheduling optimization, weight data rearrangement, and memory usage optimization to improve porting performance. The average workload of porting is reduced from 1 person month to 2 person days. In addition to providing basic scalar information, calculation graphs, and data flow graphs, MindStudio's training visualization analyzes hardware-level profiling, iteration trajectory, operator performance, and timeline information generated during training. This feature automatically provides expert suggestions for users, saving developers time of performance analysis. The average optimization time of model is reduced from 1 person day to 1 hour. Let's take a closer look at the new features of MindStudio from this video. You're welcome to download DevKit 2.3 and MindStudio 3.0 to help you develop efficiently in the Kunpeng and Ascent environments. This last slide summarizes the main contents of Huawei Computing Basic Software. I'm going to end today's speech with a video on the Kunpeng Ascent community. You can scan the QR code in the video to access the Kunpeng and Ascent communities and find the software we talked about today. You're welcome to use and provide valuable suggestions. We expect our basic computing software will help you develop more efficiently, achieve better business performance. Finally, Kunpeng Ascent Computing Basic Software is the result of developers who have participated in the development of the community. I'd like to thank you all for your support and contributions. Thank you all.
感谢熊彦先生。
Thank you, Mr. Xiong Yan, for your wonderful sharing. Please welcome Mr. Wang Yawei, Chief Expert of Huawei Cloud Software Development Tools and Efficiency, Director of Development Tools Technology Management Group Huawei, to bring us keynote speech, Next Generation Cloud Native Development Tools. Developers, friends, good morning. I'm Wang Yawei. Richard Yu shared with us about Cloud IDE and the intelligent code completion technology. I'm going to share with you how do we make use of intelligent cloud-native tools to help developers reshape productive force. I will share with you two stories. First, the cloud development platform, the Cloud IDE. How does it leverage AI to reshape developers' coding productivity? Second, how the cloud debugging service reshape the debugging productivity. First of all, let me ask you, I believe most of you are developers. I'll make sure that I finish my speech in 20 minutes. But my question is, any of you here who code without IDE? You use Vim, Atom, or even Notepad? Please raise your hand. I don't see a lot. Or any of you who do not code at all? You are here, you pass the entrance as a developer. So I see a few. That means I'm in the right place, because most of you are still coding with IDE. IDE coding means what? Code completion. Code completion is a core technology of IDE. It takes a long time for this technology to develop. It starts from basic completion of IDE, which was based on its understanding of the programming grammar and the syntax. As AI develops, people are exploring new fronts. Can we use NLP to improve the code completion efficiency? Therefore, a lot of new solutions have emerged. We've looked at those solutions. Most of them are based on public repositories to train model. This model mainly matches the context similarity and offer a completion result. This solution has its limitations. First of all, the multi-symbol completion efficiency is low, meaning a whole line or whole segment code being completed for you that exponentially increases the efficiency of coding. Second, the completion requires human intervention. For example, adding symbol or deleting symbols. That's a big challenge on efficiency. Thirdly, developers do not have faith in the completion result because you are offered a lot of options. Today, I bring you Smart Assist. It has an innovative approach. It is based on deep code analysis and deep learning models. We first perform deep analysis of the local code and build a local model. We also have trained in an offline model, a multi-scenario deep learning model. We converge the two and provide completion service to developers. Our solution can handle the context. They know all the results that are consistent with grammars, and all the appropriate options will be prioritized according to our logic. We have very good interpretability and adjustability. Let me show you a demo. to retain your interest in this topic. In this demo, we have Cloud IDE, Smart Assist, and we are developing employee service together with our competitors' IDE. I believe you understand this piece of code. In Smart Assist, there is a circle and a plus.
The whole line has been just auto-inputted, the repository. When we produce the demo video, for every auto-completion, we deliberately stop for several seconds so that you have time to read the entire list of auto-completion. Just now, a function name has been automatically provided for, and then two function parameters, including the types and names, have been automatically entered. New employee represents another line of auto-completion. Followed by auto-completion of the method names and the description of methods. Now we are defining the second function. When the system is doing completion of the function name, every letter I enter brings up suggestions. Here are a completion of two function names. Get salary is also a whole line completion. The other vendors is working very slowly. We are now actually fast forwarding the video by 2 times. Now it is coding for the last function, view subordinate. If you look at it, even when we play the other vendors' tool by fast forwarding at 2 times speed, it's almost the same with ours, but still a little lagging behind. Now, after completing the whole line, we have a paragraph completion. Here is completing the entire code segment. It says here it's an employee section, and there is a whole paragraph of auto-completion. What do you think of the demo? Good? Then I think it deserves a round of big applause. This is a real demo. You can create a Cloud IDE instance and then choose a technology stack of Smart Assist so that you can have a hands-on experience about the look and feel of a Smart Assist. You must wonder, how can Smart Assist do all these? It's supported by 3 key technologies. First of all, performance code index. Second, our unique tree search algorithm and deep learning algorithms, so that the context can be translated into the word vector, and then there will be a pass tree search algorithm. It's going to have an exhaustive code proposal, and then sorting, filtering, and parameter setting. It comes up with a short list of proposal. There will be further word vectoring, and then fed into the deep learning model for decision making. That's what Smart Assist can do to improve your coding efficiency. Then let me talk about Cloud Debugger, how it redefines microservice debugging productivity. All of you present here, whether you've ever written a code or ever you use IDE for coding, you must have used monolithic application. Monolithic application debugging is easy because it's got a simple architecture and sufficient architecture. All you need to do is to attach a debugger to the threading process, then it will automatically do all of the things. For example, sets breakpoint on targets, modifies memory variables, and tests the statement execution, and displays call stacks. However, there are challenges for monolithic application debugging. The first thing that people propose is a monolithic application microservice decoupling. There may be 3 APIs involved, and you are decoupling it into 10 or 30 APIs. So the first challenge for microservice debugging is how to develop the test case for all the APIs. It involves a lot of efforts how to overcome such a challenge. The APIs have a quite complex calling relationship. You have to rely heavily on MOF, and that leads to the debugging challenge. And in addition to the mock challenge, the traditional debugging methods cannot support multi-process concurrent debugging. Because of these challenges, we have come up with this. I will talk about a very typical use case and demonstrate how Cloud Debugger is able to help developers. Please look at the slide. Let's say there are 3 users, user 1, 2, and 3. They're marked in red, yellow, and blue. User 1 uses Cloud Debugger and initiate a debugging session. Microservice ABD 1.0 is what user 1 uses, and user 2 calls microservice ABD 2.0, and user 3 is working on microservice 3.0 development, and he's calling microservice A, C, and D 3.0. This is a typical scenario of multi-user, multi-version microservice cluster debugging. In such a complex scenario, what can Cloud Debugger contribute? First of all, the debugging dialogues between the 3 users are independent from each other. When there is debugging of 3 different multi-versions, your request won't trigger breakpoints for another user. Second, Cloud Debugger offers all the ease of use for monolithic application debugging, including simultaneous breakpoints, single-step tracing, and variables. We'll have a very cool demo to demonstrate the beauty of Cloud Debugger in a multi-user, multi-version debugging scenario. You may also wonder, fine, we see the debugging beauties. Let's say I am the user 3. I keep changing the code in when I'm developing the microservice 3.0. Every time I have to run through the whole pipeline in order to deploy the code in a testing environment. That's troublesome. Well, it's completely not needed, because we can support hot swap of remote microservice code in Cloud Debugger, meaning that when you are using Cloud Debugger for debugging, the incremental code will be compiled into a class code, just like a GitHub cherry pick. These incremental codes will be hot swapped and updated in your remote testing environment. To make it more interesting, I would like to show you another demo. Get into Cloud IDE and select the to be debugged microservice. 23 lines of code and set breakpoints. Switch on Cloud Debugger and you will see the navigation. It identifies your CCE cluster. You need to define a microservice group here. You select the region and the cluster name. And if you roll down the list of microservices, you have to select the microservice to be debugged. Cloud Debugger will configure the user CCE information. Check the very cool function hot swap. And then click Next. The debugging service will begin. You can debug a specific version of microservice. That is a very key feature. You can also ask for filtering. It means that only specific filtering parameters will trigger the breakpoints. You can note down the Cloud Debugger session ID. And then kickstart the debugger. We want to debug a version of the second service tool. That's why we check this instance. The request router will navigate us to the accurate version to be debugged. Now let's kickstart the debugger. Right here on the right, you see the topology. It provides you a real-time view of the invocation relationship. Now we are about to execute 3 requests to demonstrate how to trigger breakpoints and the dynamic construction of the topology. The first request is triggering the breakpoints, and then the topology pictures change real-time. Now let's request another microservice. The invocation topology will be reconstructed, as you see. The third request is for Redis. The topology will be refreshed as well. Now, the second developer has joined debugging, and he's interested in the version B of the second microservice. You see 2 developers are debugging 2 versions of the same microservice. They are breakpoints need to be set for the same section of the source code of the microservice. After simple configuration done by Cloud Debugger wizard, and you select the microservice group you define, and then check code hot swap. This step is important because we have to note down the request of filtering, because we want to make sure that the filtering parameters will help us remove any interference between the 2 user debugging. The red equation mark refers to the A version that's already being debugged. Now we go for the B version and then select the request router. Next, you will see the 2 debuggers are using request routers and filtering parameters so that they will only trigger their respective breakpoints. They won't interfere with other users. Even when the breakpoint is in the same snippet of the code, the 2 users won't trigger the other person's breakpoints. User 2 request has not triggered user 1's breakpoint.
Next, let me demonstrate the code hot swap function. Here, I show you when developer 1 and developer 2 simultaneously revise the same line of code of the same source file. The code hot swap can deploy the respective modification to the corresponding versions. Developer 1 on the left is changed to developer A. Developer 2 on the right is becoming developer B. Now let's save it. At the bottom right, there is this pop-out window telling you the code hot swap is complete. Now we initiate 2 requests, and the response of a request have changed. I believe you have lots of questions in mind. Unfortunately, we don't provide a Q&A session. Let me talk to you about the secrets behind Cloud Debugger. There are 3 core technologies. First is a separate debugger adapter service, so that local debugger and Cloud Debugger can be separated. In extreme situation, you use Cloud Debugger to debug a remote microservice, and a local debugger can debug a Kunpeng upgrade or a GUI application. Second, intelligent debugging on message routing. It ensures multiple IDEs and multiple microservices are reliably and consistently transmitted. Third, our unique bulk message transport protocol based on named pipes. It ensures tenant and agents message transmission featuring high throughput and high performance. Thanks to these 3 technologies, Cloud Debugger can reshape the microservice debugging productivity. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Wang Yawei. Next, let's welcome Mr. Zhang Ping'an, President of Cloud BU, President of Consumer Cloud Service Huawei, to bring keynote speech on Huawei Developer Program 2021 launch, seeking continuous enablement. Distinguished guests, online and on-site developers, good morning. As the MC said, now I have 2 positions. I am President of Consumer Cloud Service of Huawei, which is Huawei's internet service, covering 800 million users around the world, with tens of applications. About 6 or 7 of them have over 100 million users. And my new position is President of Huawei Cloud BU. The Consumer Cloud Service is the biggest customer of Huawei Cloud BU. So today I'm speaking and I'm joining Huawei Cloud as its customer. Our objective is to make Huawei Cloud the most liked and preferred infrastructure by customers. The Huawei Cloud strategy is to become the robust platform of the intelligent world. Without developers, the platform will be in vain. So Huawei Cloud has remained dedicated to enabling developers and to create the best application building platform for developers so that developers can grow together with us. Let me update you on the Huawei Developer Program over the past year. In 2020, we invested $200 million to aggregate applications by industries and integrate industries by regions and develop developers in communities. We have built 120 Huawei Cloud Innovation Centers and 24 Kunpeng Ascent Innovation Centers around the world. Huawei Cloud Innovation Centers and the Kunpeng Ascend Innovation Centers are built in close proximity to users so that we can listen to them to make sure the Huawei Cloud, the computing platform, and AI platform can listen to the needs of customers and rapidly adjust and innovate. Moreover, we have developed 2.4 million developers around the world to make sure that the developers are covered by the Huawei Developer Program and to unleash their talent. We adhere to the strategy of open hardware and partner first to support the growth of partners. As this chart shows, lots of partners in this industry are providing servers based on Kunpeng board. The proportion of shipments by Kunpeng partners is reaching 52% of the total last year. But that is not enough because our target for 2021 is to have even higher proportion. We wish that the proportion of shipments by Kunpeng partners reach 80% or even more in 2021. In terms of software, we have been proactively open sourcing software. We have OpenEuler, OpenGauss, and MindSpore AI computing framework launched last year are the testaments to Huawei's effort in open source. Starting from the past years, we have built 3 communities from scratch. The OpenEuler community has more than 3,000 contributors. Many mainstream OS vendors in China have released commercial versions based on OpenEuler. OpenGauss has 1,200 contributors. Commercial banks have adopted OpenGauss. Furthermore, MindSpore, the AI computing framework, has become, since its 1-year anniversary, the most active AI framework community in China. We have also been actively involved in the open source communities to promote industry openness and converged innovation. Huawei is not only a platinum member of communities such as Apache, Eclipse, and the Open Atom Foundation, but also a founding member of CNCF, short for Cloud Native Computing Foundation, among many other communities where Huawei is the founding member. In 2020, more than 200 of the world's 250 mainstream open source communities support Kunpeng natively. In Linux kernel version 5.10, Huawei ranks #1 in the world in terms of contribution. In the cloud native field, we have contributed to CubeEdge, Volcano, among other important major projects. Huawei is now leading in Asia in terms of cloud native contribution. We fully support developers to co-build, succeed, and share with partners. Last year, on Huawei Cloud, the annual transaction volume of partners have taken up 60% of the total. Huawei Cloud witnessed rapid growth last year, with a 160% year-on-year growth. And Huawei Cloud's partner revenue growth is even higher, which is 188% year-on-year. We wish that in 2021, partners will make even further progress together with Huawei Cloud. In the age of intelligence, every developer is making a huge difference. Learning and the growth of developers matter. Talent cultivation in the intelligent era needs not only basic theory, but also being able to engage in innovation and market demand. So, forming a collaborative talent ecosystem and training system is also one of our priorities. Last year, Huawei worked with the Ministry of Education to build intelligent base for production, academia, education, and application convergence.
We have partnered with 72 universities and developed over 1,000 courses with the help of over 1,500 teachers. The Intelligent Base program will be an important platform for the students to pick up more skills for Huawei Cloud, Ascend, and Kunpeng. The program will be available for developers in the future so that they can come back to study the knowledge of the emerging technologies. We want to make sure that Kunpeng and such new technologies are the essential skills of future engineers and students. Looking around the world, Huawei is the only company that is equipped with business in cloud, network, and edge. And Huawei is the only supplier with cloud, network, edge synergy. We are able to provide an end-to-end enabling platform covering production deployment to consumption. We're able to facilitate free data flows across the cloud, network, and edge, as well as devices, so that the data can be further tapped to create more business value. Our hundreds of thousands of servers for consumer are now running on Huawei Cloud services. It's not just the ICT infrastructure. Huawei Cloud has helped extend the reach of our devices and provide services in over 170 countries and regions. We are further exposing our capabilities to the developers. We want to offer them with better development experience, including a unified account, a payment gateway, audio-video mapping, as well as advertisement kits, so that the developers can leverage a unified development platform, application sales platform, download platform, as well as operation services. One-point access. The developers are able to engage with their end users, enterprise users. They're able to extend the services not just in one country or multiple countries. This is aiming to support services for individual consumers as well as for enterprise customers. We hope that we are able to further invest in Huawei Developer Program 2.0. And today I'm going to make an announcement. 220 million will be invested in Huawei Developer Program. This is a bigger investment that we announced last year. It will be used to fund intelligent computing AI services on Huawei Cloud and the partner programs. In addition to the investment, I'm also going to announce our 3 major partner programs. They are Kunpeng Partner Program, Huawei Cloud Partner Innovation Program, and Ascend Partner Program for 2021. Let me talk more about these programs. First of all, Kunpeng and Ascend Partner Programs. They involve over 500 tasks, and we also offer $20 million of incentives. We want to pull together the intelligence of the community so that we can accelerate innovation in fundamental operators, network models, and reference designs. We want to promote a diversified computing industry and AI community. The 2 programs will be available for Kunpeng community and Ascend community. I really encourage the developers to actively join our programs. Next, we also have a Huawei Cloud Partner Innovation Program. We will invest $100 million for this program in order to provide stronger support for those SaaS partners that's able to innovate, and also ISV partners that's able to galvanize more digital transformation. We also want to provide 3 types of support for the SaaS and ISV partners so that they are able to accelerate cloud upgrades and digital transformation among the enterprises. Huawei Cloud Partner Innovation Program is a great one. We hope that we can further cooperate with the partners on Huawei Cloud platform to forge ahead. Let's work on in-depth technology integration through this approach, and the $100 million for Huawei Cloud Partner Innovation Program. We want to accelerate the partners' business success. We want to further enable the developers and partners to create solutions that can enable the customers' commercial success. We are very hopeful of 2021. Again, I would like to thank the partners and developers for your great support. You make all the difference. Thank you. Today, I am very honored to be joined by some of the developers. They will be joining me in the launch of Huawei Cloud Partner Innovation Program. Let's welcome the representatives of some partners to the stage for the launch. They are from Yongyou, Kindi, Sai, Tech Education, eGova, ePoint, Supermap, Xrender, eFunsoft, Udesk, Closely, Voc Engine, SYC, Current CAD, Bison, Black Lake, APA, DigiWinsoft, 分享销课，爱树 Xeon, and Going Link. For the guests, please hold your hands and then raise your hands for a countdown for the launch. Now, please join me in the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Please take your seat. We hope more developers will achieve a greater success with this program. Let's make our dreams come true. Very exciting. Thank you to Alex and thank you to all the guests. Thank you to all the keynote speakers. It's been a very rewarding session. Every developer is a spark that Huawei wants to gather. Huawei will forge ahead against the challenges by working with the developers. Let's move the world forward, implementing more innovative applications for the intelligent world. That concludes the HDC Cloud Keynote. Please follow the instructions when you leave the stadium. We welcome all the guests to the Huawei Gala tonight. It will start at 6 p.m. It will be an outdoor event with delicious food, music, and dancing shows. Thank you again for your time. I will see you tonight.